Welcome to a zerok 3 vs 3. This is a Palladium match, so it's all high level players. With, in the red, it is a Mixie with Cloakbots. Their teammate in the orange, it's Chomalongma with Hovers, and Chungus in the yellow with Rovers. Against, in the blue, we've got Rovers for Helwer. In the purple, we've got the Warning with tanks, and in the teal, we've also got tanks, but this time for Tech a Umnu. The question we have to answer today is plot OP? Because yes, this is a, faction match, somewhat. At least for Team 1. But it's a Palladium, so, well, they should be evenly matched, right? Start moving forwards, couple of daggers moving forwards as well. And people are just expanding their eco. Already noticing the enemy darts and all that. But those shouldn't be able to do a whole lot of damage. Would be countered by a Scorcher, however, of course, with Scorcher plus dart, you do counter a single Scorcher. And up north, very, very dangerous. Kodachi against Glaives. An awful matchup. And here, Kodachi against Daggers, also an awful matchup for Team Plot. Because, well, both are incredibly low HP targets. Whereas Kodachi is like a very good raider. And especially here, you can't really run away from it. Over here you do have the room to move away. And you do outrange Kodachi, so that's nice. But as soon as you get in range, that fire is going to hurt. You would now be able to one-shot them, but yeah, don't chase them because you already lose daggers. On the other side now, double Scorcher still alive. Just a single one for Chungus, but of course with the commander close by and the reinforcements as well, they should be able to hold on there without any issues. Reaver up north to support those glaives, that does make a lot of sense. Second Reaver out already. And going for an advanced radar quite early, but at least it will let you scout the entire map on a bit of a spire, so it doesn't really care about any radar shadows. The only thing you won't see is like this back corner, probably. And meanwhile, Eco is still very even. Attrition, although looking bad, is not awful because it's like less than 200 metal difference. And positioning for Team Plot is not bad at all. Scorchers and Daggers are defending this side, facing off against Blitz. However, 120 versus 180 burst, so they do one-shot darts. So yeah, darts are unlikely to really do any damage there. And Lotus on that radar would make a lot of sense. Over here, Daggers do take a good engagement against the Blitz. And up north, Reaver should be able to hold on there against that single Kodachi. Chomalongma moving forwards without any real support. Yellow is not moving in with them. And up north, Kodachi is still being annoying, but is not really able to push forwards. Protect this does make a lot of sense because it is 450 metal. Early game, and look, we're only 3 minutes in, so yes, it's still early game. That is quite expensive. Over here though, Commander could easily go down if they had another volley, but they don't. At least not yet, and now with all of those rovers close by, it's unlikely to go down yet. Getting close enough to those daggers and they well, not insta-kill, but like kill a dagger per second per Scorcher. So yeah, it's very unlikely that you're actually going to take that commander down without at least losing all of your daggers in the process. Still though, over here, Chungus now going to get a couple of fences forward as well. We'll be able to attrition down a couple of these tanks maybe. So pushing forwards quite nicely. Good eco as well. And just like that, eco for Plot is almost like 10 metal ahead. They want you to push, that makes sense. If blue is able to support that as well, that would be great. Because yeah, you do have a couple of blitz, which, well, since their assault raiders are able to soak the fencer shots quite well, they do still struggle a little bit against like this many units. Now, with Scorchers moving in over here, not a lot of DPS because they are that far away, and over here as well, not able to do a whole lot of damage. Relatively even fight for both teams, and incredibly bad wind. Alright. Good that we only have like a couple of wind generators, only 3 on the entire map. But over here now, Chang'u's in a prime position to start reclaiming this. Not that there is a whole lot, but still 500 metal. And oh, that's a lot of pings. Hellward does not like it. Daggers moving forwards over here are not able to engage the Kodachis, at least not very well. And over here, now moving that commander forward is very risky. How much do you know about all of the other units? I mean, the Scorchers and all that were able to hold off, and the Daggers were not really that close. Still though, only a couple hundred HP. So it's still quite risky. Almost taking down the Ogre. Would have been very nice, but barely survives. And 2 fences versus 3, but these were able to... well, they were healed up. Whereas the ones from Chang'u's were not. Who drew a smiley face there? Goda? Was it you? And over here, Kodachi is starting to raid a little bit. Being chased, so Scorcher... nah, Scorcher isn't going to go down. Still though, might be able to take a max over here. Though... well, it's just sitting there, so it's unlikely. And up north, well, Kodachis are trying to move forwards as well. Are going to take an amazing engagement against these glaives, you would assume. But actually, it's kinda similar. Attrition here was not that good. Over here, once again, Daggers moving forwards, but not able to do a whole lot of damage. Commander is still alive. Army Razor. Though it's still a level 1, so it's not going to resurrect anything. Daggers are forwards again, but still not doing a whole lot. Fences are about to engage again, and that could easily kill Hellward's commander, so they are taking it back quite well. Over there, Daggers moving forwards, no real defenses around the radar still. I mean, yeah, you do have a commander and, well, there it goes still. I mean, commander isn't fast enough to catch up to Daggers, and if you're a little bit lucky, you can take engagements against these dots, just because you have more Daggers than they had dots. And going to take down another Katek. Watch out with the explosion. Could take another 4 down over here if they focus it right. Scorchers are a little bit slow, so doesn't seem like they're going to take all 4. But still, 2 of them went down, and that's certainly worth it. Also forced them to take a whole bunch of value back, which means that the front is now open for Scorcher raids. Eco still ahead for plot by quite a large margin, and even up north, Cloakbots pushing forwards. Kodachi army moving through, but double Reaver and the Knight is at least able to hold, well, destroy most of them, and now cloaked up glaives move in and take down the rest. Still going to hurt a little bit, but they will heal up in a couple of seconds. Over here, a couple of halberds are finally able to take that commander down. And they are already voting to resign. I say already, because, well, they do still have this part of the map and the entire east as well. But if you just look at how much Team Plot has, yeah, it's unlikely to work. Over here, Ogre is pushing forwards a bit, but might still go down to the fences. No, doesn't look like it. Alright. Healed up by the welder, which will soak a little bit of damage for it as well. And the glaives now raiding that northern side. All of a sudden, You've lost your foothold over there. A little bit of artillery is moving in as well. So, yeah. I mean, you are now pushing in with 2 ogres with daggers. Not focusing it either, so already not a bad engagement for the ogre. And there is a lot of reclaim. 500 here, 3000 there. That could at least equalize the eco. Because, yeah, look. They are ahead by a little bit, by like 3000. 2000. So if you get all of that reclaim, you're pretty even still. If you get all of that eco back up, even your like base eco is not going to be that much worse. And that overdrive grid isn't amazing. A lot of these maxes have not been linked up at all. Single commander, only a level 2, this could easily go down to just 2 or maybe 3 ogres. So, yeah. 2 loaders are not going to be enough though. Still should signal to you that there is a commander there, allowing you to like take a couple of units there. Another good raid with a couple of daggers. Could have like, with that Kodachi coming in, maybe snipe this one and then move around. Just barely. And of course you outrange them. So with good micro you are able to take a decent or even good fight over here. Another max going down. Stardust not really engaging either. And taking your daggers all the way around again. Might be able to snipe this dagger. Kodachi, it's 6. Yep, you do have the burst for that. And since you outranged them, you could easily do damage. However, they have it on like fire towards enemies, so you have to watch out. And not lose your daggers. Wasting a couple of shots that I feel. Kodachi does go down, and eco as well. Ogre over here is not going to be up in time, you would assume. But it is about to go up. Daggers already heavily damaged. A little bit of AoE from the Ripper already taking down a couple. And they are running. Even just a couple of welders have enough DPS to take down these Kodachis, I feel. With about 40 DPS each, which is more than a dagger, I feel. Right? 43, yep, that's more than a dagger. Right. Good ogre number still. Commander, still no defenses around it. But there is the counter to tanks. And you have 2 tank players. A bunch of dominatrix. 5 of them already out. Good range on those as well. Outranging both your Minotaur and your ogre. And you don't really have any support units to take care of them. You can't just send in a couple of glaives, you don't have darts on the field. So it's going to be difficult to deal with the dominatrix. A couple of scalpels over here as well, also outranging your units by quite a bit. And the glaives, although running into Kodachis, which you should never do, still at least forcing the enemy back a little bit. Does give him some reclaim, but it does secure this 2.7k for yourself. Already 1 ogre has been captured. And Minotaur could easily get captured as well, but OMFG. Dominatrix should not have gone back, I feel. They were trying to stay at max range, which normally that makes sense. But in this case you could have had the Minotaur had you just moved them into it, I feel. Probably. But back. Back is indeed the correct call. Yes, there is 1 blitz moving in, it got 1 shot off and then it got killed. So... yeah, what do you have here? Things that get countered by dominatrix. That's an issue. Maybe if you're a little bit lucky, like getting some shots off around this fire, you could do something. But I feel like that's going to be very unlikely. Daggers still moving around, still wreaking havoc. No defense around those maxes, so those will go down. And Blitz is not amazing against Kodachi either, because, well, just like with... no, it actually does have pretty much the same range, but yeah, you don't counter this many daggers with just 2 blitz. Now over here, dominatrix once again moving forwards, have captured a 1 ripper. Are not going to be catching one of those minotaurs out yet. And they are being pushed back a lot, Team Southeast. Going for Spider, for Recluse and Flea. Makes sense because I believe Recluse outranges both Scalpel and Dominatrix. And Flea is also really quite nice because, well, they don't have a lot of anti-radar. And it is able to waste, well, the capturing ability of Dominatrix quite well. But over here, you're losing a lot of your welders there. So yes, the Spider Factory has gone up. But hey. Recluse almost captured. There is the Ogre. Cyclops, it might be able to do something. If it is able to get in range, but it just doesn't. Cyclops, it will survive. It will not get captured yet. But the Minotaur was captured. Flea, as I said, that's what's nice about fleas. They waste their energy on them. But they're already so close to your factory, it's unlikely to work. Cyclops, only like 2000 HP, so is easily captured as well. Since you only need like 3000 capture damage to capture it now. And still, voting to resign, it is actually just over. So to answer the question, is plot OP? If you look at this match specifically, then yes, they are. But they were still struggling to get ahead, even up to the mid-game.